Hopefully everybody will be able to tune in real soon.
Or start the stream.
Yeah, the stream started, but we're still setting up. It's okay.
It's alright.
Just a little short setup here.
I feel like... Also, there's a stock category in Twitch also.
I don't know if we want to do that.
Right.
You know,
I feel like, yeah, Twitch before was like, oh, let's talk about crypto and all that stuff, and like, here we are.
Do we want to do that?
No. I'm just saying, like,
stocks and bonds
it's
category.
on Twitch. No, we probably
It's not even that popular, that category.
Yeah.
I'm doing film and animation on YouTube.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Game stocks, chicken tendies, diamond hands.
Hold
the line. Hold door.
Diamond hands to the moon. I wonder if we're gonna get flagged for that.
Oh, really?
Nah, I don't know. Maybe.
What would they have a stocks category for?
I don't know. We are live, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody's here yet, so it's fine.
Well, no one can say anything bad about what we're streaming then.
I'm gonna tag a particular person who's into this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, he renamed his alias, I think. Okay. They just abbreviated it. Where to start? Here, we could start by looking at the Ryan Kitty intro video.
Well, we're talking about like what the movie's about briefly, I guess.
Should we see the trailer first? Okay, just basically, just from the IMDb description.
Yeah.
Is it 20? Dumb Money is a... Hi, this is Medita Hart here.
There's pure PhD here.
And we're reviewing Dumb Money, a 2023 R-rated film about the GameStop saga in 2021, featuring its stocks. So, as per IMDb, Dumb Money is the ultimate David versus Goliath tale based on the insane, true story of everyday people who flipped the script on Wall Street and got rich by turning GameStop, yes, the mall video game store, into the world's hottest company.
I guess this is sort of like when like they released the social network, even while like Facebook was just sort of starting out or whatever.
Right. Yeah, it's like a very contemporary kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it has to do with like the internet and Reddit and social media, and like using social media in a new novel way to overturn things that like wouldn't necessarily be able to be taken on by average people unless powered through the internet and stuff.
Yeah.
The director is Craig Gillespie, who's known for I, Tonya, I believe. Let's check this out. I, Tonya. Craig Gillespie. Oh, I, Tonya, and also Cruella. And also Lars and the Real Girl.
Lars and the Real Girl.
That was
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling, yeah. And also a similar kind of story about, you know, a guy and a doll that's come to life or whatever. Or not. I don't know that much about that movie.
No, that's what that movie. I don't know. I haven't watched that ever, but that's what it looks like.
Yeah. And it also stars like a wild cast, but maybe even before we even get into that, you can kind of see some of it here. Let's just watch the trailer for it. Let's check out this trailer here for Dumb Money, and I believe
hopefully you won't get censored.
Yeah, I think it should be fine because it's a trailer. Right. But yeah, let's check it out.
The ad break coming.
Oh, website.
Oh, wait, 4 minutes?
How much do we
It's going to be 4 minutes, I guess.
Let me start over. Ad break coming? Oh, yeah, because I usually start my ad break 10 minutes into the stream and stuff.
We got time, right?
Yeah, usually I spend most of my stream.
So
I could snooze the ad break, too.
Yeah.
I'm going to snooze the ad break. Right?
Yeah.
Right, there we go.
How much did we make today?
5 million.
How much did we lose today? $1 billion.
You got rich, dude. I think I have hands like that.
Holy fucking shit.
I will tell you, I've never seen anything like it.
Holy fucking shit.
Is the craziest I think I've ever seen.
Everything okay?
$11 fucking million. What are you gonna do? Get a Ferrari? What the fuck?
Oh, language. The baby's here. Yo, what up, everybody? Roaring Kitty here. I'm gonna pick a stock and talk about why I think it's interesting, and that stock is GameStop.
I love this guy.
Retail traders have hooked into GameStop.
I think they think it's a good investment. It looks like there's one guy driving all the buying.
I mean, maybe because we're chronically online, we know this happened.
Dumb money, man.
Maybe some people who watch this movie are like, I didn't know this actually. This is all really happened. Like they were like wondering how much is exaggerated or joked about, or like they didn't. A lot of people actually don't follow this stuff very closely. You know, you'd be surprised. That's part of the reason why they make movies like this. You know. But yeah, we follow it pretty closely.
Happy to take it.
Wall Street is betting that this company is going to fail. But if it fails, these hedge fund assholes make a shit ton of money. 70,000 people have watched this video.
Rory Kitty, I love you!
If he's in, I'm in.
If he's in, I'm in.
GameStop, those shares not stopping.
The stock is only gonna go up. When they hit, I'm gonna buy you a mansion.
Let's drink to that.
My brother is a fucking nerd.
Wall Street must be seeing this, right?
Holy fucking shit.
Holy shit.
You should probably dial in.
Holy fucking shit. Do you have a minute?
Babe, how much did we make today?
5 million?
How much did we lose today?
$1 billion.
And yesterday?
4 million?
And yesterday?
$1 billion.
Babe,
Yeah.
we're like really fucking rich.
You got rich dudes pissing in their pants right now. They're coming after you.
We need to talk about the GameStop situation.
Retail traders always lose.
You've been served.
Wall Street cheated. Surprise, surprise.
You have to testify before Congress. The game has changed.
What's the point of winning the race if you let some dipshit steal the prize?
A lot of people feel the system is broken. The whole idea of the stock market is if you're smart and maybe with a little luck you can make your fortune. Certainly not anymore. There's no hope for the little guy.
Shitballs.
Maybe now.
Wait a second. Did they edit it from being mustard, from ketchup to mustard? I think in the movie it was mustard, but like in this it's ketchup. I don't know what happened. It's really random.
They probably took a few shots.
Yeah, maybe it's a different shot or something. I don't know. It looks like the same shot though. Maybe I just misremembered or something. I could have sworn.
Shitballs.
Maybe now.
I don't
There
know.
is.
Fuck yeah.
So, we're doing an interesting review of this movie and stream today because we're going to talk about the movie like we do in our normal movie podcasts. Like, talk about some things we thought about the movie. But then we're also going to, like, bring it into context with a bunch of stuff that happened in real life outside the movie. Because that's kind of part of, like, talking about this movie is because how do you even explain this movie to people without actually knowing like what even happened? Because like Wall Street's really complicated and confusing, and economics is really complicated and confusing. And yeah, it's kind of useful to bring it into context because like this is all stuff that happened in real life too. So I think that's nice. We have an ad break in 5 minutes. I think that's okay. Let's watch this video. What do you think? This video?
Sure,
Normal person explains. So this is like GameStop was big news, and then a lot of people were hearing about it to the point where people who didn't even know what was going on were talking about it and trying to explain it. And this is a woman who's like a parody of that kind of thing. So she's kind of like making fun of that kind of thing. So this is next on our playlist here after the trailer. So this is based on a Twitter video uploaded by this voice actress and performer. So this is a normal person explaining what happens on the stock market, what's happening on the stock market regarding GameStop and our Wall Street bets. So yeah, she's just like a woman in her car and stuff. So let's check it out.
So I have been seeing a lot of people online who are like, what is going on with the stock market? Is there anyone who can explain this in normal person terms? And so I decided I want to do that because like I own stocks. So I like have a pretty good understanding of the stock market. And from what I understand, there are these people who they have lots of money and they have hedges around their house. And
they do have hedges around
they go to the market, but it's like not a real market. It's it's metaphorical, but it's real. And they go, that company is not doing well, so I'm gonna make it do worse. So they pull out some papers and they go, who wants to make a deal? They start making deals and they say if this company's good, if it goes down, then I get money from you, and if it goes up, then I'll give you money.
That's how it works.
They don't tell you that it's not gonna go up. I mean, they will make it so it goes down. But then there was this online reading club that was like, well, not today. We want hedges too, and so they went into their bank accounts, and then they also went to the market, and they were like, buy of the company, and changed it a lot. And so now the initial people, the hedges have to give their hedges, I think, to the other people. So yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know.
Great. So yeah, we have an ad break coming in a minute or so. So while that's happening, we can take a look at Ryan Kitty, who's like this kind of central figure played by Paul Dano in the film. We're gonna check out a video from his channel that's just like a fun intro video of his. That's just like a fun flavor video he plays at the beginning of his streams and stuff that kind of explains his strategy and is just kind of fun color for his stream. So that'll be a fun thing to just show during this kind of ad break time. And Paul Dano, as a reminder, is this actor with the red headband and like he's.
I thought it was a hat, but he has a headband. Yeah.
He has a headband and like he's also like he has his brother played by Davidson, and he's like the average guy who's like figuring out the strategy and stuff. So yeah, where is it? Let me see if we can find him. So there he is. And he's like this YouTuber that was like posting their Wall Street bets, and he's like also working for Mass Mutual and stuff. And he was just like a guy on the internet like 2 years ago, and kind of started this whole thing. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, let's check out his video.
The real question though is, what is he doing with his hedges?
Bye. Yeah, okay, let's check out this Ryan Kitty video. And for those of you on Twitch, appreciate if you watch the ad. If not, we're on YouTube also. See you back from the ad break. Alright, see you on the other side, folks. Peace. Alright, and if you're on YouTube, you can just watch this with us. Alright.
There's a lot of production value.
It is a lot of production value. He's a video creator. It's very loud on the playback.
Playback.
Yeah, okay. This is just color. Oh yeah, and there he is. His trademark red microphone.
You can open the door, right? There's no one in the house.
I guess so, and it's not in the shot.
Yeah.
Ad break ends in 3 minutes. Oh wait, there's another ad break. Oh, my bad. I'm gonna get some apple juice. I'll let this keep playing, looping around. Be right back. Good, cool. The notifications are popping up. Great. We're back.
Yeah.
Cool. And yeah, bye.
Bye.
So.
So here's actually what happened. Do you know if NBC minds if we show some stuff? NBC.
I think I actually did get stuff taken down from NBC.
Even CNBC, like it's a journalistic outlet. Come on.
I think I did get stuff taken down. Maybe if you do Yahoo or something. I don't know.
Yahoo.
Yeah.
TD Bank should be fine, right?
Yeah, it should be fine. Yeah.
Okay, so and Investopedia should definitely be fine.
Yeah.
So let's do this Investopedia video here. So this is going to explain short squeezes for layman's here. This is going to.
And I felt like in the movie they didn't really cover this at all, even though it's the whole premise of the movie.
Yeah, it's really bad when like this stuff is supposed to be really. It's the central conceit of like what's driving all the action in the thing.
And the time travel is more easy to understand than this really.
Yeah, that's what I was explaining to. That's what I was saying to Pierre PhD the other day after we watched this movie. Was like, people seem to have a more of an intuitive understanding of like how stuff like time travel works, because like it's based in like physics, and you're like, oh, if you could go back in time, it's just like you're at a different time, even though you're in the future, you're in the past. But like people really, their eyes totally glaze over when it comes to stuff like short selling, short squeezing, the economy, stock markets, finance, and stuff. So having things that really break this down, I think, is a really important thing to have in the general population and educate people about. Yeah, it's kind of like why like these things keep happening over and over again is because there's not enough public pressure to like put on like organizations and federal regulatory bodies. I don't know. More people should learn about this stuff just so there's more outcry and stuff in general. I think it just leads to better outcomes. And maybe part of the benefit of a situation like the GameStop situation in 2021 is that it brought a lot of people's attention to market activities, and like a lot of people started like self-educating and stuff. There was a new generation of investors and learning about the process and stuff. Probably also some amount of like people making mistakes and stuff too, and the costly ones at that. But hopefully there's going to be more education about it too. I think hopefully there's going to be a downside to everything. But anyway, education. We're going to treat this as an educational opportunity. What is a short squeeze? The central point of this explained in 2 minutes by Investopedia. Very good resource. You could read stuff by them on their website. Very good. So this is in 2 minutes. Let's check this out.
Yeah.
A short squeeze refers to a jump in a stock's price, forcing a large number of short sellers to close their position, which in effect pushes the price even higher. When an investor shorts a stock, he borrows shares from another account and sells them, agreeing to replace the stock at a later date. Short sellers predict the price will go down, enabling them to buy the shares at a lower price. When the share price starts to rise, many of these same investors will decide to buy the stock before their losses escalate further. This flood of buy orders causes the price to climb even higher. First Class Aeronautics, an upstart aircraft maker, recently unveiled its new flagship model. The rollout was delayed for several months, leading many investors to question whether the plane had design issues. Consequently, many of them decided to short the company's stock. But as it turned out, initial orders ended up being stronger than expected during the plane's first few weeks on the market, pushing the company's share price from $17 per share to $20.
This isn't like that before.
Oh, really?
I imagine so.
I don't know how much, but how much short interest is there?
Yeah,
That's the real
actually, I
question.
don't even know about this. Whenever we're doing something new, there's probably some skepticism there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes that's priced in as a result. Like,
yeah.
Price discovery is really tough when it's based on a new technology and stuff.
Yeah.
Fearing a continued surge, many of the short sellers bought the stock to close out their position. These purchases pushed the stock higher still to $23 a share. It's important to remember that this secondary push has more to do with the large number of short positions than the stock's fundamentals. Contrarian investors will sometimes try to cash in on this phenomenon by taking a long position on heavily shorted stocks, that is, buying them with the hope that they'll appreciate. Going against the crowd like this is typically a high-risk, high-reward proposition. Even so, some feel it is safer to bet on a stock rising than on one falling, where the potential losses are limitless.
So that was really fast.
It explained it pretty well, I guess.
The main parts are this area here.
To replace the stock at a later date. He borrows shares from another account and sells them, agreeing to replace the stock at a later date.
This one day.
Yeah.
Short sellers predict the price will go down.
So borrows it, sells it now, promises to buy it later. And then as a result, if you sell it now, you hope that you sell it high now, and when you buy it later, it's going down at a lower price, so you pocket the difference.
Enabling them to buy the shares at a lower price. When the share price starts to rise, many of these same
That's a weird shape.
investors will decide to buy the stock before their losses escalate further.
So yeah, if it's and then you hope it goes. If it goes up, that's a problem because it makes the you're buying it for higher than what you sold it for.
Right. Yeah.
How can you sell something that you don't even own? It's a promise that you're going to buy it back, and it's kind of built in.
Yeah.
It is a little unintuitive. Yeah.
If people are still complaining about not understanding it,
still confusing. Let's see if we can explain it a little better with the plain bagel rather than this short. But let's do a TD. Let's do a 5-minute version of it explained by TD. This is by a TD Ameritrade, or TD, just TD in general, because it's not necessarily Ameritrade. This is a bank explaining short selling. They do pretty good educational videos.
Yeah.
One of the things you can do with a margin account is short selling. This is a strategy that's generally used by many experienced investors, and the point of it is to try and profit if a stock drops in price. What is short selling? Usually, when you buy an investment, like a stock, you do it hoping you'll make money by selling it at a higher price. This is called going long. Shorting, or short selling, is the opposite. In fact, you're selling a stock you don't actually even own yet, with the goal that you'll make money if it goes down in price. How can you sell something you don't even have? You borrow it. Let's say ABC1 Corporation has been doing really well, and their stock is currently priced at $100 a share. But based on some recent news reports, you think the tide will turn and the stock price will drop. In fact, you think this is something that will happen soon, and now you want to short ABC1 Corporation. Basically, you believe the stock price is overvalued and a downward movement in price is coming. To short the company, first, you need to borrow the shares from your broker's inventory. Let's say it's 100 shares.
Interesting.
They loan them to you, and you then sell those shares to the market for $100. At this point, you receive $10,000 cash for the sale, but you're short the stock. And you now owe 100 shares back to the broker because, remember, they lent them to you in the first place.
Interesting.
Later, if your prediction is right and the stock drops, let's say to $90, then you would buy back your 100 shares from the market at that lower price. Next, you return the shares to the broker and keep the price difference as your profit. You just made $1,000 shorting ABC1 Corporation. Your hunch has quite literally paid off. But
money.
What if things don't go your way and the company's stock rose from $100 a share to $120?
Uh-oh.
If we ran through that scenario again, what would happen? First, you borrow 100 shares from your broker, and then you sell them for $100 a share. But now, the stock price jumps up $20. If you buy back the stock at this price, you'll lose $20 for every share that you sold. The shares you repurchased are then returned to your broker, but you absorb the loss. But what if you didn't end up buying those shares back, and the stock just kept going up and
Uh-oh.
up and up.
Uh-oh.
The thing about short selling is that it's incredibly risky because theoretically, there's no cap on how much you can lose. If ABC1 stock rose $50, you'd owe $50 per share. If it rose 75, you'd owe 75 per share. If it rose 100, you see where I'm going with this. You can place short orders on any of our platforms, but let's walk through an example on WebBroker. In your order ticket, choose your short account.
What a nice account.
The account ending with the letter G represents the Canadian component of your short account, and the H represents the US component.
Okay,
this
Canadian.
will change the sell button.
Now they're getting
to
into their
short
own
sell
products here.
and
This is
buy
an ad now.
to buy to cover.
Yeah, skip this.
Key in your details.
But like, this is like
Select
how it
short
would
sell
look
to
like under
borrow,
like
then
different
the
accounts
order
and
will
stuff.
go through, and
This
you'll
is
receive a message
promotional at this
indicating
point.
why. You also can't short stock that has a 0% loan value. This is a stock that has a 100% margin requirement. In other words, you're required to pay for the entire order on your own. You can't borrow funds. If you're interested in short selling, you can request to add this feature when you apply for a new margin account.
Okay.
If you already have an existing margin account balances.
Okay, so we're not recommending you do any of this by any means. That's like you're taking a. Not only are we recommending to not do this, this video explained exactly why you're at an incredible risk of doing this. Because like if you just educationally just explaining how this works, if you buy a stock for like $10 or whatever, and it goes down to 0, you lose $10 per share or whatever. If you buy a stock for $10, if you short sell a stock for $10, you could gain $10, but if it goes up, it could go up infinitely, and you could lose an infinite amount of money. Like there's like an incredible amount of risk with that. So I would highly not recommend doing that sort of thing. So yeah, that's not only is this not investment advice, it's also don't do this.
Yeah. That would be the advice.
That's the advice. Yeah. People lose enough money going long on things, which is to buy it and like sell it at a higher price. But like you could lose even a lot more money trying to short things, you know, like an infinite amount of money. So it's really bad. So yeah. Let me see, which video should we go to next, or should we go into the... Let's go to the CNBC video here. This will explain the specific situation with... Now that we know a little bit about shirt squeezing, we heard someone's vague, confused explanation. Then we heard a little bit of an elaboration on a shirt squeeze. Then we heard a little bit of an explanation of shirt selling. Let's see how CNBC explains the GameStop short squeeze situation with their retail investors in their 2-minute video. So this is CNBC. Actually, does CNBC allow us to do this, or is it journalistic?
I've done it before, and I think it was taken down.
What's a better resource for this?
Yahoo, I think it's fine.
Yahoo doesn't take it down?
I don't know if Twitch cares, maybe only YouTube cares.
Journalism, PBS, GameStop. PBS should probably not care. I think I've done them before and they didn't mind. Yeah. That's all CNBC. I guess PBS wouldn't touch it. I guess we could do Plain Bagel. We could show a little bit of clips from Plain Bagel.
Yeah.
And we can post this. We'll be posting this playlist on the full playlist on the Medita Heart Discord. So we can put a link to that here.
Is this a private playlist also?
It's a private playlist right now. I'll share it. I'll make it public later. So it's not a PBS one. Maybe I could just show Log Brothers, Plain Bagel. Maybe I'll just show a few like 5-second clips of the CNBC and hope they don't take it down.
Yeah.
Let's just do it. So this is what it looks like. So this is actually they're gonna explain that this is a clip from Occupy Wall Street.
10 years after
2011.
Occupy Wall Street, there's a new type of financial protest. But
this mentions the recession and Dumb Money. Like people like
calling for stock tips that will
pandemic.
Right.
I mean, they don't talk about pandemic essential worker issues now, and it's like, whoa, you're mentioning that even more like people don't want you to care about that anymore.
Yeah, it's also kind of crazy that this also happened right around the same time as January 6th, same month even, and people
Also,
drew comparisons between the two happening
So
at the same time.
So we're on a COVID uptick right now.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
So here's man of the hour, Jim Cramer, explaining this.
Never seen. There's nothing normal about what you're seeing.
This is
Inverse Cramer.
Inverse Cramer.
When it comes to this stock right now.
That's because GameStop, which sells...
That's Andrew Ross Sorkin, actually.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, he actually is in charge of a finance column on New York Times, and he's written books and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
He seems all right as a journalist on CNBC.
Gamers, Gran Turismo.
Video games and consoles is not doing well. Their sales are plummeting, and their stores are shuttering.
Blah, blah, blah.
User pointed out that GameStop had a massive amount of short interest, bets essentially that the stock would decline. As long as the stock fell, short sellers would make money. But the Redditors figured out that if they collectively bought a bunch of GameStop, they could force a surge. The short sellers would have to buy back higher, creating what's known as a squeeze. And it worked. GameStop skyrocketed, going from $3 in April to nearly $350 today.
That's like a 150 bagger. It's crazy, huh?
What is that? That's like
rocketed, going from $3
900% back? No. 90,000% back? You do the math, I guess.
150 times 150, 100, 15,000% return.
11,000?
115. I know, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Man, if only I got in early enough.
There you go, yeah.
In April to nearly 350 today. Several large hedge funds were severely wounded in the process.
You have basically the David pack of wolves beating the Goliath pack of wolves. That is retail investors.
And then we're zooming in.
Oh yeah, everyone's zooming in.
Winning against the professional hedge funds.
The weapon of choice for these new traders are platforms like Robinhood that have become popular during the pandemic.
Probably advertisement.
Good morning, John.
And then let me see. It's kind. I mean, people would even like make memes that was like comparing like A Bug's Life. Should we show that clip from A Bug's Life? You know, with the ants and the grasshoppers and stuff.
Yeah, photo.
You see.
With the quote.
Here we go. Those puny ants outnumber us 100 to 1, and if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food, it's about keeping those ants in line, blah, blah, blah.
See why I like this movie so much? This is great, man.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Like, this is like, no, we got to get rid of this attraction.
We gotta get rid of this. Otherwise, they're gonna not like our movies anymore.
Yeah.
We're in control of the movies.
Yeah.
We control ESPN. Whatever. I think we could get into some of this later stuff that like really elaborates on this in some later clips. But maybe we'll get into the movie a little bit. Now I think we've seen enough clips now. So yeah, back to the movie. This is Dumb Money. It's about the GameStop saga. It was told primarily through the lens of like the Roaring Kitty character, also known as Deep Effing Value, also known as Keith Gill and his family. He's like kind of like the main.
Well, that's his real name.
Yeah, that's his real name in real life.
Yeah.
And he's played by Paul Dano.
Yeah.
And he's like a kind of like small time investor guy who's like very online. He's been like unemployed during since the recession and stuff, and recently got a job. And then he's like just like sharing his ideas online and hoping the idea makes sense and whatnot. And then he's kind of like starts this basic movement that happens online that you see through the lens of these other characters who join along. And then you also see what happens on the other side, from the side of Wall Street, from like the different investors in companies and figures and people who's like, you know, they even show like during the film, like this is like a very cool technique they had. They showed like the characters when they were introducing them, like their net worth. So like they showed like some like nurse whose like net worth was like negative a couple $1,000s or whatever.
Yeah.
Like some students like negative $150,000, and then like these billionaires, $16 billion net worth or whatever, $3 billion, $400 million.
There's a times where I thought it was going to be more of that, and like I was surprised like in the trailer they didn't even like edit it. They just straight up had scenes from the movie with the net worth there.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool technique that they used. I think the trailer was pretty well done. I think it actually it took a lot of key things from the movie, and yeah,
it basically summed up like all the internet stuff.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, it is what it's about. It's about just how, I mean, it kind of it doesn't spoil anything for you. This is what happens.
Yeah.
But it's about how it plays out when you watch it.
What did you tell me? That's what happened.
I guess in the
trailer, I couldn't make money off GameStop.
Yeah, but you know, of course, in the movie they explain like the aftermath and everything that happens after all the big excitement and stuff.
To some extent.
A little bit. Actually, there's like some key details we've talked about before that they missed out on.
So the stuff they're like, oh, it's a happy ending. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but. And it's kind of does. And like at the end, I'm like, I don't actually feel like this movie ended that nicely. But that's real life for you. But in that kind of sense, it has a lot of all these senses, it has a lot of comparisons to make with The Big Short.
Yeah, one thing that occurs to me about that is like, what happened to Keith Gill after all that?
It is very concerning. Yeah. He's just completely dropped off the face of the earth. He's completely separated from public life. Like in the film, like he's a regular guy. Then he starts sharing his ideas on Reddit. Then next thing you know, he's like
Twitch or something.
He's on Twitch. YouTube. He's on YouTube. He's doing YouTube streams. You can watch the streams on his YouTube channel right now. It's archived on there.
We showed like the intro for it, yeah.
And there's like some other clips we can show in here too. Like that's still up there, but he's just like he has no public comments at all since then. Like in the film, they even show him being subpoenaed by Congress and stuff, and he has to make a testimony. And he's like seems really shaken up about the whole situation and everything. Yeah. And yeah, he seems like his life changed very, very quickly in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like this GameStop thesis like took over like 10 years for him to develop. Like it was like a few months that he was like this idea was germinating for a while. It was during pandemic and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like then next thing you know is he's like at the center of like all this attention online, and like that's one thing. But then next thing you know, it's getting attention from regulators in the government, and it's also getting attention from Wall Street. That's maybe even more scary.
Yeah.
You know. It's like a big way to change. His life has changed a lot. They're going after his job and stuff. I don't know. He went from like being very like bottom of the totem pole a couple years ago. Then he gets like his job. He's happy about that. Then he's like an internet celebrity. That's already a lot.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he's like public enemy #1, and he's being questioned. Do you do all this stuff?
It's from, I guess
it's interesting. It's a quite a dramatic,
right?
It's quite a dramatic story for him. Yeah, it's a little bit like Oppenheimer, right?
Yeah.
Except more terminally online. You know, in the sense like the Batman or whatever. Like in this character in the Batman.
We're finally modernizing stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and like maybe the biggest difference between this and The Big Short. The Big Short, it stars like Steve Carell and Michael and Christian Bale and Brad Pitt and Michael Caine. More Michael.
Master Wayne, you shorted the stocks.
Yeah, that's Batman. But
I sure hope you're not part of the fire brigade.
Some men just want to watch the world burn. But
the hedge funds.
Some hedge funds just want to watch the world burn. But yeah, The Big Short is like about this kind of like contrarian take on like, oh, all of Wall Street's betting one way, and we're gonna bet the other way, and maybe it's very individualistic in this kind of sense, and that like it takes a few key geniuses to figure out this huge thing that's happening in front of everybody. That like, and then that breaks out the whole story, and they go against the whole grain, against everybody. Very individualistic, very Western kind of story. Yeah. It's like a hero's journey. It kind of puts perspective on what happened, and in that sense, it puts perspective on what happened in the Great Financial Crisis in 2008, while having a narrative to follow. Whereas, like, if you just follow what was happening with like, there's a lot of people doing a lot of stuff, it's kind of hard to follow. But anyway, to tie this eventually back to like Dumb Money. Dumb Money finds a way to like draw a thread through this like collective movement of people online, on Reddit, on Wall Street Bets and stuff, and then through doing that, after how do I want to say this? It finds there is this online movement that's a lot of people, but Dumb Money finds a thread with like this key figure Keith Gill as the protagonist, and like his family life, and then also it tells a story of like a lot of random people who are also in this movement as well. And yeah, what I wanted to say was the difference between these two is that the people in The Big Short are, even though they're like kind of contrarian and they're kind of outsiders and they're kind of on the fringes of like Wall Street, they are still ultimately in Wall Street somewhat. They've been trading for a while. They've been at firms for a while. Michael Burry runs his own, he's a portfolio manager. And,
I don't know if there are family people. Do they show like their kids or anything in the film?
I
haven't seen the film.
I haven't seen the film in a while. Yeah. It's less emphasized in the film. In the book, it's more emphasized.
Well, like
their family.
I guess like, it's so hard to avoid in Wall Street in Dumb Money because like it's all pandemic and like you're stuck in a basement and with your family.
You're just stuck with your family the whole time and stuff, right? Yeah. And I also think that kind of makes the character more humanized in this, because like he's a grown guy. He has
the
no
fact
resources.
that like we all survived pandemic.
Right, and they're also showing this, and also in addition to Keith Gill's story, the other protagonists of the story are like random people they show that are also part of like the same Reddit community that are just random people out in the world just following his ideas and stuff. And they're also collectively.
And I guess that's how the world is now, right? You make buddies online, talk to them.
Yeah, unless they take down the Reddit board or whatever while it's happening and stuff. Or they
shut down the sequel with Elon Musk and Twitter, I guess.
Or they disable the app or something.
Speaking of which, Elon Musk is in this film.
Oh yeah, Elon Musk is in this film, yeah, and it's like actual live. It's like footage from real life that they showed.
One of them was like a radio, one of them was like that, yeah.
Yeah, they show AOC in this film too.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, even though like the hair is different, I sort of picture like America Ferrera could have played like a good AOC. I think.
I don't see it. You said this yesterday. I don't see it, but I'll let you have that. I'll let you have that. I don't see it. But let me see. Yeah, and speaking of which, we got to talk about the casting. Big Short was also known for its kind of unique casting to make the film exciting. Because like for Michael Berry they had Christian Bale.
Yeah.
For Steve Eisman they had Steve Carell, and I was about to say Michael Scott.
I think one thing, going back to the AOC America Ferrera thing, one of the things was like America Ferrera was like, all these billionaires are trying to like take all the money from us and like they're screwing us over, and I felt like that was a very AOC-ish moment.
Oh yeah. I mean, in this film she plays a nurse,
but like they all everyone's like, all the protagonists aren't like rich,
Right.
They all suffer through the financial crisis.
Right. And here's him with the tendies and the champagne and the sunglasses and stuff. Yeah,
that's very good promotional work there.
It's good. There's some good promotional images. The top 1%. Here we have Seth Rogen, Nick Offerman, Sebastian Stan, if you can recognize him without his looks, without his like beard and stuff, and Nick Offerman without his mustache, and this is Vincent D'Onofrio. I thought it.
Speaking of which, can we talk about how you couldn't tell what Steve Cohen looked like?
I forgot. There was too many people to follow.
It was like I only know one of them because of a certain thing, whereas everyone else I never even heard of before.
It's honestly a lot to follow because they kept jumping between the characters,
and the characters aren't that well defined. It's just mainly it's an event story, sort of a. Not a disaster movie, but sort of like that kind of story.
Sure. It's like you just got to follow the chain of events and stuff over the course of like an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's sort of like 24, like basically.
Yeah, it's like
except they do a little bit of a flashback thingy,
moment by moment of how this timeline is playing out, pretty much.
Yeah.
And
I wonder if that's how the novel did it too. Like they talk about then, and then they go flashback towards that.
Yeah, this movie is based off of a book called The Antisocial Network.
And that's very ironic considering who made this film.
Yeah, I believe some of the executive producers were Winklevosses and stuff, so that was very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we have Paul Dano here. Here's Pete Davidson as his brother. Here's America Ferrera as a nurse. Here's I forget what this actor's name is, but he plays actually plays a GameStop clerk in the film.
I forgot to mention this when we were talking about the movie. I think the cover how like every person at the register always has to upsell them something like the warranties and everything, and they covered that really well. And I feel like I've never seen anything mention that before in like a film before. Yeah, like you never see GameStop in a film.
Because like it's
there's a lot of attention to detail that like you take for granted.
Yeah. This movie is done in capable hands. Like when I heard they're gonna make a GameStop movie and it's called Dumb Money and it's got like Seth Rogen in it and stuff. Is he gonna be like Is it gonna be a dumb movie and stuff? But this is like done quite in very competent hands, and it's very humanizing. The cinematography is done well. They have good editing. The attention to detail is done well. They do capture that it is like in the midst of a pandemic. You really feel that throughout the film. They have like scenes that set.
Can we look up when they filmed this, by the way? Because that's very interesting. Did they actually film it when it wasn't a pandemic, or did they actually film it during a pandemic?
That's a great question. So the production of it, let's see.
Probably be on the wiki, yeah.
Let's see. Dumb Money film. Wikipedia. Dumb Money. Production, development, casting, filming. Principal photography took place in New Jersey from October to November 2022.
So it got a little bit better then. Well, it's like the end of 2022 also, yeah.
Okay, so end of 2022. Interesting. And it's like over a month, so principal photography. They might have done like secondary photography or whatever at different moments.
So which cities was it?
In Morris, Essex, and Hudson counties, with scenes filmed at St. Elizabeth University. So it's like a few counties.
Is that New Jersey?
New Jersey, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, all of it done in New Jersey, even though the film...
From what I've been in New Jersey, it always feels like a small town feel, which is nice about it.
Yeah, unless it's like, big Wall Street people or whatever, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So those are some big...
Who like commute to Manhattan or whatever.
Yeah. Like you gotta have enough. I mean, like you can't. You gotta have your big house and stuff. Let me see.
Speaking of which, we have no idea. I think all the budget for this film went to the big houses for the big execs of the hedge funds.
Yeah.
Because like, everything else is like, it's just two people on the screen because like it's their pandemic, and like they spend no money on like actual actors because like it's pandemic and like it's set in a pandemic and like you don't need a lot of actors when you're doing that kind of social distancing.
It's a very small budget film.
Yeah.
It's like
you figure they do more films in pandemic just so like they'd be like, yo, all we have to do is film two people talking to each other, and it could be over a YouTube thing or whatever.
It's people on phone calls. It's people like in a hospital chatting, and there's people in front of a computer screen by themselves. You know, somebody in the kitchen. It's not much going on. Yeah. Even when they're in the big fancy houses,
there's nobody there.
They're just sitting there. They're not even doing anything. They're just sitting there. They're talking to other people. They're on the phone.
They're on the phone with
they're zooming with other people. There's not a lot going on. And
there's not a lot of what's the name? The creator of like Seven Samurai. There's not a lot of Akira Kurosawa placement of human beings in the film.
Yeah, there's not like these Steven Spielberg-esque kind of like Lawrence of Arabia, like huge tracking shots of like crowds of people.
Golden Age of Hollywood stuff.
Yeah. No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Very minimalist indie film directing. It was like probably had a small cast.
Yeah.
For like extras and stuff.
Yeah.
Very small film, and I think because of that they could focus on like the little interactions of the characters, and that was kind of the emphasis of the film. There's even like narratives they're drawing of like I don't know if this is probably not in the book.
Yeah.
But like to elaborate on how these people were identifying with this movement and stuff, and like how they were caught at different emotional moments and stuff. Like they even had this like humanizing element of like why is this person investing in this thing? Well, their father was like a manager at a grocery store, and then it got bought up by Wall Street. Or like someone's about to make an investment, they're on their phone, they're at a gas station, they're connecting with another human being for the first time in a long time. It doesn't work out, and then she's like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy this thing on my phone impulsively just to feel something in my life and stuff. And like there's moments like that really capture like the little like what makes a person do this sort of thing, what drives like people to join this kind of movement in the digital age, in a pandemic, on using mobile apps and stuff that are that's being powered by like these big tech companies and big financial fintech companies and stuff. So
that said, there's a lot of greed and toxicity involved in this that wasn't covered in this film. I feel also like with Wall Street bets and like people being like to the moon or whatever. Like, well, they covered that in the beginning when he's online, but not like with like people you actually see.
Yeah, I think they don't do it. They kind of like gloss over it a little bit.
Yeah, they mention it a little bit, like
the internet movement aspect of it. Like they show little clips of like, well, how could you follow these guys on Wall Street Bets? What's going on? These guys are idiots.
Yeah, they're like saying all this terrible stuff, and like they're like a bunch of racists or whatever.
Yeah. They're saying like a lot of non-PC language and stuff. They don't talk about how it's like this is all like maybe ironic or something, or like maybe they're trying to like throw people off the scent or something. Like it's all it's like it's not about that. It's about like speaking of like an inside joke or something. You know what I mean? Like there's not a lot of that explained there, and maybe that doesn't need to be explained or whatever. But let me see. Oh yeah, and Pete Davidson's character is really funny.
I don't know if he's a real character or they just feel like adding
I don't know.
The film.
I have no idea if Keith Gill has a brother in real life at all.
Yeah.
But he adds a lot of color to this film. I guess, Keith Gill, lives in Brockton.
Yeah.
But, like, Pete Davidson's bringing his, like, Staten Island kind of, like, personality into this.
Pete Davidson in every Pete Davidson film.
And, like, I think he's good at doing it,
Yeah.
And maybe he's ad-libbing stuff and whatnot.
Yeah.
You kind of feel like they are brothers in this. Like, yeah, screw you, man. And he's doing this to, like, mild mannered Paul Dano or whatever, and you know, and like the dad at somewhere's like, knock it off, you two. What are you guys doing? Yeah, and like it's filmed in Jersey, which is a little bit like Staten Island, you know. Maybe that's
I guess
maybe that helps him get into character.
So west of Staten Island.
I don't know. Maybe I'm from Queens, so what do I know?
Exactly,
Maybe I don't actually know what I'm talking about. But yeah, they have like I mean, look at this cast.
They have two cast members. Yeah, they have two cast members from Oppenheimer in it, and that itself has a huge cast.
Yeah, Olivia Thirlby is in Oppenheimer as
same
Lily Hornig.
And same with Dane DeHaan.
Dane DeHaan plays a GameStop manager.
And
then
in the other shot, he looks like he's like 40 years older.
He looks like a different kind of manager.
There you go.
But yeah, and yeah, and then yeah. So here's all the big Wall Street execs, and they kind of do seem to fit like these different styles of execs and stuff. I feel like they did kind of inhabit those kinds of like different personalities and temperaments and stuff.
I guess they didn't really go into the history of like most of the people outside of Seth Rogen's character, and like even though they're like based on real people or whatever, and then like you don't know most of the history of the hedge funds either.
Yeah, I mean, like I feel like most films don't really know how to portray.
It's only 90 minutes to film, so you can't really blame them for that. You know?
Maybe the only thing I could think of that did portray billionaires in like some kind of like more detailed, humanizing way would be Succession or something.
Right.
That's the only thing I could think of, unless you think like I don't know, it's Tony Stark or Batman.
I'm thinking of the Batman actually,
but that's not even like that doesn't even count. I don't think that's like you don't see like Bruce Wayne going like, oh well, you know, our investments, you know, like we got to really focus on ROI tonight, and like well the bottom line, oh what are the workers saying? Oh well, you know, it's gonna cut in, and like Alfred, you know, like, there's not a lot of that going on. He's like, I'm gonna go outside and throw batarangs and stuff. Like, oh, okay, Master Wayne, I know you got this Batman phase going on, and you got to do what you got to do, but I'll manage the accounts, and we'll have Lucius Fox do a bunch of stuff too, and yeah. Anyway, okay, so she plays Caroline Gill. Okay, that's interesting. And then she plays Elaine Gill.
Yeah, Caroline, Shailene Woodley first started out, debuted in this film, The Descendants, which I watched as a critic in New York Film Festival.
Oh, okay.
It was, I think it's directed by George Clooney. It wasn't directed by George Clooney. It was directed by Alexander Payne, and George Clooney starred in it. And the film critics are like so into Alexander Payne at the time, even though like maybe because they don't remember his films, but like they were really into it. Oh yeah, she's in Divergent also.
She's in Divergent, Allegiant,
Big Little Lies.
Oh, she's in a video game. She's a video game actress.
I guess so, right?
Allegiant, the VR experience.
There you go.
As the voice, she's
in the lead season of Amazing. They have two cast members from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 with this.
Interesting.
I guess because it's Sony Columbia.
She's also in The Fault in Our Stars.
The Secret Life of an American Teenager.
Descendants in 2011.
As I mentioned, yeah.
CSI New York in 2007. Yeah, they have an interesting cast. And then, and of course, like Vincent D'Onofrio, Waldano, Pete Davidson, America Ferrera. I don't know this actress who plays Rai Rai.
I don't know, yeah.
And then Nick Offerman, of course.
Playing old Vince McMahon. Before the mustache.
Oh, Nick Offerman? I don't know why. And speaking of, here's Seth Rogen.
There you
go. Sebastian Stan. Sebastian Stan plays the head of Robin Hood.
Yeah.
One of the heads of Robin Hood.
Yeah. Which is a big deal because of like the whole... Spoilers alert, in case you didn't know, like they freeze purchases of Robin Hood.
They don't...
But they cover why they had to do it, albeit like you can tell like they didn't do it for the right reason.
They don't quite get in, so maybe this can bring us into our next segment.
Yeah.
Because like this part is actually a little complicated, the relationship between like the character is portrayed in the top half of this image here.
Yeah.
Like all these people, like Sebastian
I
Stan,
do feel
Rogan, Nick Offerman.
I do feel like once that moment hits for you, like you understand everything that's going on, no matter if you know anything about the stock market or nothing about the stock market.
So like yeah,
explain it pretty simply and it's pretty direct.
Yeah, here's like a diagram they have here on like one of Jon Stewart's shows that was on Apple TV Plus.
Yeah.
That kind of like really kind of illustrates the relationship between the things. So this is a video of his where he talks about the GameStop situation with the Redditors exposing the stock market and whatnot. Yeah, here's how his team describes
the system a bit better. I'd pick up my phone and I'd hit the old Robinhood buy button and boom, my order doesn't go to the stock exchange because of something called payment for order flow. My order somehow goes to this other company no one's heard of called Citadel.
Like before, you had to do actual pieces of paper and the certificates and whatever.
Right.
Now online is different.
Yeah, there's a middleman. Yeah.
Well, before you'd have brokers to actually buy and sell or whatever.
Right. Yeah, you're not dealing with the brokers themselves.
It's like a machine now or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. And then interesting, here's a company called Citadel right here, you know.
Yeah, I can't talk about that.
Yeah.
Man known as a market maker. They match buyers to sellers. And they have paid Robinhood hundreds of millions of dollars for the privilege.
I'll actually step out now, I think.
Okay.
I think that's fair enough.
That's fair enough.
Or any market maker still doesn't have to take that order to the stock exchange. They just match it to other orders they've also already paid for. Or they slip the order into what are called dark pools. And dark pools are private exchanges where the big boys trade stocks in the dark. Yes, the actual name of that is dark pools. They named it dark pools. How fucking invincible do you have to feel to name the place where you conduct your least transparent business dealings dark pools? Thank you for your order. I'll just take it down to my chamber of schemes. Is free to use. They're being paid hundreds of millions of dollars by middlemen for the privilege of processing stock orders. So we know who their real boss is. But why the fuck would these guys pay hundreds of millions of dollars for that privilege? Let's ask Citadel CEO Ken Griffin.
Payment for order flow is a cost to me.
Oh, well, yes, it costs you hundreds of millions of dollars. Why would you do it?
We want to hold on to this democratization of finance that's taken place. If payment for order flow helps to maintain that as a reality, I think that's good for everybody.
That sounds pretty good. I've got no complaints about that. It sounds good to me.
You're a really good person. See, Ken Griffin, he's just a nice guy. He's going broke to create this democratization of markets. Obviously not that broke. He does live in literally the most expensive house in the history of the United States of America, and also spends time at his other house here, and this other one here, and then there's this one here, and of course, any of these here. You know what? Fuck this guy. So what's really going on here? How do these particular middlemen even make money?
Say, Jason, you want to buy a stock for $10 and...
This is Bloomberg Business Week. So this is like
Carolyn, you're selling it for $9.99. Well, they'll internalize that trade and they'll make a cent per share. It doesn't sound like a lot, but if you do it enough over and over again, those pennies add up.
Huh. So for every trade, they're skimming pennies off the top. How many fucking pennies put you in all those houses? Let's break this down. First of all, the hundreds of millions that Citadel kicks back to Robinhood should be going to the retail investors, or at least a cut of it. And the pennies they're scooping on price differential should also be going to the retail investors. I mean, who came up with payment for order flow? Bernie Madoff? Yes, it was actually Bernie Madoff. It was literally Bernie.
see. Is there a soundboard? Can I get a soundboard going? Let me see. Soundboard. Sound alerts. Soundboard dashboard. Oh, come on. I'll log in. Can I play this? How do I play this?
Go!
That's too sad.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
All right.
Madoff who came up with payment for order flow. It was Bernie Madoff. Bernie Madoff came up with payment for order. Bernie could be illegal, which by the way it is in many other countries. Somebody should really tell the Securities and Exchange Commission about this, and it turns out somebody did. In 2004, a whistleblower wrote a letter to the SEC saying payment for order flow lacks transparency, is anti-competitive, and creates an obvious and substantial conflict of interest between brokers and their customers and should be banned altogether. Pray tell, unmask the hero of our tale.
Oh boy.
The brave whistleblower.
Oh boy, I forgot this part. I don't remember what he says.
It is
Ah!
Citadel Investment Group. It appears that these companies don't so much want to democratize the stock market as bring in chump money for their penny game. So what might happen, though, if these new chumps bring in all this...
So yeah, hence dumb money, you know.
This new money got wise.
Small investors banding together to take on big firms by running up the stock price of video game seller.
Let me do that again. Let me do that again.
GameStop.
It's a stock worth just a few bucks a year ago and closed at $347. If you invested $5,000 in the GameStop just 2 weeks ago, you would have made more than 86,000 bucks. The hedge funds that
harnessed years of advanced meme training to realize that the company GameStop was being massively shorted by hedge funds. Basically, hedge funds placed giant bets that GameStop's price would go down. The Reddit users thought, well, geez, why don't we all just get together and short squeeze them, drive the price up, hold the stock, make a little money, and as a consequence, force those hedge funds into massive losses. And it worked.
It worked. It worked.
Really well.
Discount online brokerage Robinhood barred users without warning from buying new shares of GameStop.
I opened up the app. I saw that you could no longer press the buy button in Robinhood. And
Pure PhD left the stream right, like from behind me right here, and is now in the comments down there, or over here, I guess, or over here. This guy sort of looks like... Are you just saying anybody in a baseball cap looks like Steve Cohen now? You said that Vincent D'Onofrio looked like Steve Cohen because he had a Mets hat. But like now this guy looks like Steve Cohen because he has an LA Dodgers hat. Do I look like Steve Cohen because I'm wearing the Mickey Mouse baseball cap now? Dodgers. I guess it's a blue hat. His hat's blue. Oh, ad break. Ad break.
So I have been seeing a lot of people online who are like, what is going on with the stock market? Is there anyone who can explain this in normal person terms? And so I decided I want to do that because like I own stocks. So I like have a pretty good understanding of the stock market. And from what I understand, there are these people who they have lots of money and they have hedges around their house and they go to the market, but it's like not a real market. It's it's metaphorical, but it's real. And they go, uh-oh, that company is not doing well, so I'm gonna make it do worse. So they pull out some papers and they go, who wants to make a deal? They start making deals and they say if this company's good, if it goes down, then I get money from you, and if it goes up, then I'll give you money. But they don't tell you that it's not gonna go up. I mean, they will make it so it goes down. But then there was this online reading club that was like, well, not today. We want hedges too. And so they went into their bank accounts, and then they also went to the market and they were like, buy of the company, and changed it a lot. And so now the initial people with the hedges have to give their hedges, I think, to the other people. So yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know. So I have been seeing a lot of people online who are like, what is going on with the stock market? Is there anyone who can explain this in normal person terms? And so I decided I want to do that because like I own stocks. So I like have a pretty good understanding of the stock market. And from what I understand, there are these people stocks. So I like have a pretty good understanding of the stock market. Like have a pretty good understanding of the stock market. And from what I understand, there are these people who they have lots of money and they have hedges around their house.
Whoops, I muted the microphone. Let me know if it's still laggy. It might have looked laggy because I was dragging the thing down here. But let me know if it's still laggy now.
They have lots of money and they
I was just rewatching this video while the ad break was going.
Have hedges around their house.
Hey, welcome to the stream. 2 viewers. All right.
Go to the market, but it's like not a real market. It's metaphorical, but it's real.
Oh, there's a person scootering by.
They go, uh-oh, that company is not doing well, so I'm gonna make it do worse. So they
uh-oh.
pull out some papers and they go,
This company is not doing well.
Wants to make a deal. They start making deals and they
Wants
say
to make a deal.
If this company's good, if it goes down, then get money from you, and if it goes up, then I'll give you money. But they don't tell you that it's not gonna go up. I mean, they will make it so it goes down. But then there was this online reading club that was like, oh, well, not today. We want hedges too. And so they took.
What's she up to now?
They.
She's an expert on the store. She's in the house of hedges.
And they also went to the market and they were like, bye. Of the company and changed it a lot. And so now the initial people, the hedges have to give their hedges, I think, to the other people. So yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know.
She's a stock market genius. Also, this was really annoying, or I don't know. This is a thing. I'm gonna leave my own commentary out of this or whatever. Elon Musk commented on this. Elon Musk commented on this video. That's how big this video was. This got a lot of views. It got 440,000 likes, 86,000 retweets, and how many views did it get? Let's see. Views are not available. Okay. A hedge fund that shorts is a shrubbery. Mr. Musk. This was before he owned Twitter. Keep that in mind. Very good, Elon. He was getting in on the conversation there. A normal person. She voices. So she's a voice actress. She voiced Megara in Hades. Meg. She voiced Meg. She voiced some other people. She voiced Nellie in Fallout 76, Tess in Pistol Whip, Merchant in Spellbreak. So yeah, very cool person. It is a character what she did here. I don't know. I'll retweet that again. Why not? This is her character in Hades. Live retweet. Follow Meg. This is her character. Retweet. I'll like and favorite that. No, she's not Hades. It's confusing. Did I say she was Hades? I don't know what I said. I don't know what I'm saying. Hope I didn't say that. Yeah, she's Meg. She's a voice actress in Hades. Very cool. I should link to that. I'll link it to the tweet itself. It's her pinned tweet. January 27th, 2021. Very legendary. A tweet that'll go up in legend. Yeah, please go back and clip. That would be a perfect clip. So, yeah, here's more Jon Stewart. We can continue.
Holy.
Don't be coy. Holy what? But not selling it. Did you say? GameStop, but not. Why would Robinhood halt buying GameStop?
They halted buying GameStop, not selling it. Buying
GameStop, but not selling it. They said it was because they received a call from their clearinghouse. From their bookie, who said, they're on the way to the house. Get the fuck out of the house. They're in a black Lincoln Continental. But other people were suspicious for a couple of reasons. One being a hedge fund called Melvin Capital, which racked up billions of dollars of losses in the GameStop frenzy, received a bailout from none other than Citadel Hedge Fund. The utterly unrelated hedge fund owned by the same people who own Citadel Securities.
Womp womp. Oh, hold on. Give me a second. Womp womp. Oh, nice. You clipped it. Great. Thanks for the clip. Oh, yeah, and I gotta give a shout out up here, PhD. Boom, 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 boom.
Which is the payment for order flow company that handles Robinhood orders. And if this sounds insane, it's because it's insane. Which really has to make you wonder, how dark are these fucking pools? And here's the kicker. This payment for order flow situation and GameStop mess are the part of the American stock market that is the most transparent, well-regulated, and straightforward part of our entire market system. There's a whole other back room of derivatives and swaps and less transparent transactions with even more fuckery. Subsidized by public union pension funds. It's unsustainable. One could compare it to the subprime mortgage market that has capacity to blow up the world economy. We will never understand all of it, and we're not supposed to. It took a bunch of Redditors to figure out the GameStop shorting thing. What the hell was CNBC doing?
Show me the money. Look at all that green, baby.
Wealth creation right in front of our eyes.
Cha-ching!
Watch your money grow. Oh, we're gonna make a lot of money.
Thank the market gods.
Because, baby, this stock is born to run.
I guess he has to call it out, but like, I guess he's on Apple TV now. He's not on any network, I guess. Mergers, monopolies, lack of regulation. I don't know, all that stuff. It's, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do, and yeah, it is what it is.
Someone should question him publicly. I'm sure that would have tremendous ramifications.
Alright, here's a lighter clip. Here's just the introduction to...
Hey, what's up?
So this is... Paul Dano plays this guy, Roaring Kitty. This is his actual YouTube channel. This is introduction to what he does on his live streams. And, yeah, actually, I don't know. There's a number of things we gotta... Before we get to that, there's just a number of things we gotta process here. I think it's worth revisiting. So, we learned a little bit about this aspect of things. We don't have you dealing with an actual broker anymore, directly dealing with the stock exchange if you use Robinhood. Robinhood is an app. It deals with Citadel, and then Citadel has their own inventory of stocks that they deal with. And then there's also stuff that Citadel does that deals with dark pools, and they call it dark pools.
What are called?
And there's middlemen, and there's this guy who has this big, and they make the penny scheme, and here's the big houses, and here's how they skim it off. Payment for order flow.
Let's break this down. First of all, the hundreds of millions that Citadel kicks back to Robinhood should be going to the retail investors, or at least a cut of it. And the pennies they're scooping on price differential should also be going to the retail investors. I mean, who came up with payment for order flow? Bernie Madoff? Yes, it was actually Bernie Madoff.
It was actually Bernie Madoff. Come on, I gotta get the timing on this better. Here we go. How could it get worse than that? And then yeah, it's pretty bad. And then this is obviously a problem. This should be illegal. It's illegal in other countries. People criticize this. They brought it up to the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Together. Pray tell, unmask the hero of our tale. The brave whistleblower from the year 2004. It is da-da-da-da. Citadel Investment.
Citadel Investment Group. They said the whistleblower on Bernie Madoff's payment for order flow is Citadel Investment Group. And it's illegal in other countries, but anyway, Reddit figured it out. And then Melvin Capital bailed them out. They
Don't be coy. Holy what?
So, just to be clear, this video kind of explains like the relationship between Citadel, Melvin, and Robin Hood, and that's like a thing that explains like a particular scene where things are going down with like GameStop, Robin Hood, Citadel, and Melvin, with like a lot of these key players here in this top part of this promotional image here. So this is just a little explanation of it. It's kind of hard to get into it all in the movie because it's an hour and a 45-minute movie. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then this is also part of the movie. It's Cardi B's WAP was also part of the movie. Ba-ba-ba-ba. There's some chores in this house. There's some chores in this house. Certified freak. 7 days a week. Ba-ba-ba. Make that da-da-da week. Oh yeah. Let me see. Anyway, the guy figured this all out, and then didn't realize how deep he was getting himself into with all this. Is Ryan Kitty.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
And he kind of like spurred on this chain reaction that led into. First, to start with GameStop, he got people to invest in GameStop for the short squeeze. Then Robin Hood couldn't pay it off. They reached out to Citadel, and then they had to reach out to Melvin. So. And they basically bailed out all those people. So, but yeah, it all started with this guy just making him an observation about GameStop. So how does that GameStop stuff go? Well, let's get into that a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I can't believe it's not enough. We're not at time for another ad break yet. But yeah, just a brief intro to Roaring Kitty. This is how he explains his strategy and stuff. So,
Everybody, welcome to Roaring Kitty. This channel revolves around live streams where I share my daily routine of tracking stocks, performing investment research, and a whole bunch of boring stuff like that. Lately, it just seems like there's been heightened interest in the stock market, especially among investors new to the industry, right?
Jinx it.
And for these folks, I'm thinking seeing a legitimate investment process like mine in action day to day could help set you on the right path to building out your own investment process over time. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be doing some boring stuff on this stream, like analyzing financial statements, looking at spreadsheets and charts and all that. I mean, research is boring, right? But maybe if it's more collaborative and interactive, maybe we could have some fun with it, you know? Or maybe not. What the hell do I know? If you're interested in something like this, I encourage you to check out the other videos on this channel because they'll give you more background on things like my investment style and the tools I use and all that. That's it. I hope to see you on the stream.
He's an engaging speaker, you know. He's a positive energy to him. He speaks with his body language. He has a sunny demeanor to him. His production value. He's using like a ring light or something. He has the classic microphone that covers his voice quality very well. It's got a good setup, the camera angle and stuff. So yeah, it's very. I think this is kind of different than how they portrayed it in the movie, where he's like in this dark basement and stuff, and like he's played by Paul Dano, who's kind of more moody than like this kind of character than this person is in real life. It's a character. This is a guy in real life. It's weird how like the guy in real life is actually more like kind of animated than like the Hollywood actor. It's kind of weird. And Paul Dano is known for these kind of like moody, intense characters in film and stuff. Like There Will Be Blood, favorite film of PRPHD. And also the Batman. We're not going to reveal who he is in that, but yeah, I don't know. So this is kind of like this central figure, and yeah, to actually get into like how he figured, like what his approach was, he developed a whole investment thesis that's like basically an argument for like why he wanted himself, why he was arguing that he thought GameStop was a good buy. And why maybe other people should get in on it. But also, of course, this is based around that time period. He gave all of his evidence, and he talks about his qualifications and stuff. and all his warnings and he says these are for educational purposes. He shares an effort to set you on the right path to building your own investment process. I don't provide personal investment advice or stock recommendations during the stream. Please understand my style of investing is extremely aggressive and I take on a substantial amount of risk. So if you take on any risk, you're doing that yourself. He's not telling you to take on that risk with him. And you can't sue him for doing that. It's likely my approach will not be suitable for you. If you're seeking professionalized advice, I encourage you to sit down with a financial professional. You can review your personal situation, financial background, risk tolerance, etc. Check out the Ryan Cohen disclaimer video for more information. He has a whole video, I guess, disclaiming this kind of stuff. So it's not available anymore. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So this is his one of his short theses that explains like why he believed in GameStop. This was done 3 years ago. I don't think this situation applies anymore. But this is like how he approached things. He's clearly an intelligent individual. He researched the heck out of this, and even then, it wasn't, it wasn't a guarantee of anything happening necessarily. He had his own doubts of it, possibly. So yeah, he can't tell the future. Yeah, and I'm not telling you anything, of course. So. I know even less than anybody who's like working at any fancy financial things. So don't take any of my words as advice during this whole thing, of course. So this is purely educational and stuff. So all right. Anyway, check this out. This is his argument, his thesis.
GameStop is one of the most compelling asymmetric opportunities in the market today. Really, I don't understand how you could disagree with that. That's why it's the top position in my portfolio and also Dr. Mike Burry's portfolio. But based on prevailing sentiment...
Dr. Mike Burry, another comparison, another in-universe connection to The Big Short in-universe. Like there's a financial movie cinematic universe. But I guess the financial world has its own universe. Scion Capital, 4.2% over here. That is referring to Michael Burry. Michael Burry is known for being played as Christian Bale in The Big Short. And yeah, that's another film that this movie is often compared to. Yeah, that's right, Pierre PhD. So yeah, like that was honestly a big part of his thesis was like, if Michael Burry's in on it, like why wouldn't I be on it too? So yeah, this thesis is like, even this 5-minute thesis, he goes into all this. The most they get into it in the film is maybe like this scene where he talks with his wife and he's like, man, does this make any sense? And she's like, just share it with the Redditors, see what they think, and they'll tell you if it's bullshit or not. And also, this company more than anything in your life. You know it more than I do. Wait, how does she put it? She says something like, you know this company, GameStop, better than you know me, your wife, because I know more about this company than myself, and I'm your wife, so that's how much you know this company. It's like obsessed with this company or whatever. Yeah, and you can kind of, so that's how they get into it in the film, but they don't actually talk into the actual technicals of like how he approached it, like as a fundamental value investor, and like he actually he did thorough research into it all. And like this is just one 5-minute video he made. He has another 20-minute video on his YouTube channel. He has another hour-long live stream where he gets into it even more. And he brings it up during multiple times, I'm sure, during his other live streams and stuff. So he's done his homework for sure. Like even I don't know more than he's like done extra credit. He's like maybe could write a whole PhD thesis about this company if he wanted to. Yeah, so this is his investment thesis on why he felt like it was worth getting into GameStop. And even then, it wasn't a guarantee of anything because it could easily backfire with the short sellers and stuff. So no guarantees of anything. Anyway, let's check out what he has to say.
Market and popular culture, many think it's a foolish investment, but everyone's wrong. It's like The Big Short again, or more like The Big Short Squeeze this time, right? Anyway, let me show you what we're seeing. Still in 2020, GameStop maintains a healthy market share within the gaming industry. It's the only major brick-and-mortar retailer dedicated to gaming, and a recent survey indicated that over 25% of people buy their new games at GameStop, and 40% of people buy their used games there. Its reboot plan is well underway, and is comprised of 2 main components. The first is optimizing the legacy business by right-sizing costs and improving the omnichannel experience. This will boost near-term free cash flow, which in turn can be used to finance the second, more important component, reinventing itself as a premier gaming hub within the thriving $150 billion gaming industry.
One thing they did get to in the movie was like, I'm talking about spoilers and stuff. This is a minor point. They talk about how like GameStop as a business was able to still stay open during pandemic because they could say, oh, we're an essential service. And like, how could you be an essential service? Essential workers are like, you know, hospitals and grocery stores. And they said, oh, well, GameStop sells computer mice. And computer mice are needed for remote work and stuff. So they did talk about little things like that, but they did definitely not as like elaborate as this kind of stuff, you know, as Ryan Kitty gets into this. Yeah. So yeah, office wear, office work, office supplies and stuff. So yeah, I guess Staples would probably classify as that too. I guess, I don't know. It's interesting, but that's a completely different story.
GameStop's modernizing stores, partnering with vendors, and offering experiential products. This is the potential upside, and it's enormous. They've been testing 4 stores in Tulsa, Oklahoma that focus on live experiential concepts. Clearly, the new management team is laser focused on gaming, and Frank Hamlin, the chief customer officer, wants GameStop to become the cultural center for gaming. They also teamed up with the Dallas Cowboys with the GameStop Performance Center. This space was uniquely designed to be the premier facility for the next evolution of esports. Imagine a handful of these venues around the world where gamers could come together to train, perform, and just hang out. So could this new management team...
I don't even know how much of these things panned out, like this experiential game center stuff. Like, I didn't really see the fruition of that like happening anywhere. But I don't know. What do I know? And then here's Scion Capital, which is Michael Burry's firm.
Actually pull off the transformation? It's possible. They've been doing mostly the right things over the past year. Plus they have Michael Burry's support.
Here's Michael Burry.
You're really gonna question the guy who gets his hair cut at Supercuts and doesn't wear shoes? Shit, I'm not. But what about the death of physical discs, you say? Let me tell you something. People have been saying this shit for a decade. And you know what Microsoft had to say about this at the start of this console cycle? Millions of people still want discs. Period. It's a big reason these new consoles have disc drives. And that...
Yeah, that's what Michael Burry looks like. He doesn't look like Christian Bale. Yeah, as much as they portray him that way and stuff. I think Michael Burry's more associated with Christian Bale now because of like every time they talk about Michael Burry in the news on YouTube, they always show Christian Bale's face. And like he's like kind of like known for like saying stuff on... Michael Burry's known for saying like provocative statements on Twitter to the point where now they like he deletes his Twitter tweets. And then like there's another Twitter account that archives his tweets and stuff. And yeah, he just drives a lot of like hype and stuff based on like what he says online. And like a lot of YouTubers follow it and make whole YouTube videos about like a small tweet he says and stuff. So yeah, very, I don't know, like kind of a little outspoken, but very compelling, and seems like a very smart guy and stuff. So yeah.
Cuts and doesn't wear shoes? Shit, I'm not. But what about the death of physical discs, you say? Let me tell you something. People have been saying this shit for a decade. And you know what Microsoft had to say about this at the start of this console cycle? Millions of people still want discs. Period. It's a big reason these new consoles have disk drives. And that's why physical will remain a part of Microsoft's future.
Right. It was yeah, disk drives. But like, you know, even that's not quite panning out because like now a lot of the latest gen consoles are starting to remove the discs. But you know, maybe there's backlash against that. Yeah, let's see.
Be sure the shift to digital is happening.
This is 3 years ago. 3 years ago, to be clear. 3 years ago.
Just not as quickly as many people think. It's true the pandemic may have accelerated some long-term trends, but as stores are opening back up, people are buying physical discs again. And a quick reminder at this point, GameStop sells other items besides physical discs. This helps drive traffic and will allow it to offer exclusive console bundle.
Yeah, GameStop is big on... I mean, if you go into a GameStop now, a lot of it's like collectibles and... I don't know why I'm arguing for him. Like, but yeah, a lot of it's like collectibles and accessories and stuff.
To its 60 million rewards members this fall. That said, the used games business has driven the lion's share of historical free cash flow, so let's focus there. We know how Microsoft feels about physical. Now let's check in on Nintendo. In their latest pandemic-ridden quarter, a whopping 44% of game sales were still physical. And this is huge for GameStop because the Switch has surged in popularity this year, and I assume its used games have as well. And in particular, Animal Crossing New Horizons was 50% physical. And after having sold over 20 million units in just a few months, that's now one of the top-selling video games of all time. So how about Sony? During the same quarter, 26% of full game sales were still physical. Now, the year-over-year decline is certainly notable, but two things here. First, as stores reopen and new consoles roll out, this figure will likely bounce and stabilize for a few years. And second, even just a 26% physical share is still meaningful, considering GameStop generated over $1 billion in free cash flow in the early years of the last cycle. And also, it's important to remember, this is not a zero-sum game. From April to June, video game spending was up 30% year-over-year. That's a massive benefit to physical, digital, and the whole damn industry. And that's why Sony and Nintendo have been boosting their expected output this year. More consoles and a much larger video game lineup than the last cycle means more software and accessory sales as well. And this is a boon to a specialized gaming retailer like GameStop, who will also benefit as the go-to destination for folks trading in old consoles and games as part of their upgrade to the new consoles. Now, obviously this thesis is based largely on the fundamentals, but shit, GameStop's chart is looking increasingly compelling. And this matters because if the price breaks out, technical analysts who don't even give a shit about the fundamentals will start piling on. To add to this, GameStop is by far the most heavily short...
So yeah, talks about fundamental analysis, and then he also talks about the charts. The charts is technical analysis. Now he's also talking about the short interest here. Like in previous videos, they talked about how like different firms are making like big bets against GameStop. So short is as we were talking about short selling. This is how much the percentage of it's being short of its floating shares that are outstanding, and that means like 99 of like all the shares that are available for people to buy. There's a value of like 99% of it being already shorted. Hey, welcome back, Pierre PhD.
I guess mentioning all this in the actual film will slow down the film a lot.
Yeah, I guess so, right?
Like we're not about like not shorting. We're definitely about the short selling aspects of GameStop. Yeah.
I think it would have been good if they just had a moment for him to just like totally nerd out and like have other characters be like, "Oh, you're driving me crazy, Keith."
Or maybe Paul Daniels like, "What the fuck's he talking about? I don't understand any of this stuff." It's a GameStop. I'm an actor.
Yeah, I wonder how much like Paul Dano could convincingly deliver all this stuff.
Yeah.
And whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and here we also see Bed Bath Beyond at 58% short interest also.
Cool.
Oh, anyway. That was also one of the meme stocks.
Yeah. I didn't know that was in the sheet. You mentioned it.
High short interest stocks, yeah. And this sheet is... I don't think he owned.
Oh, like he didn't own, but like it was like part of the highly shorted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Market with short interest of around 100% of the float. 100%? Can you believe that shit? The combination of positive fundamental developments, a potentially massively bullish chart, and an exorbitant short interest suggests to me that an upward move could be explosive. Maybe. What the hell do we know?
So yeah, very entertaining, very engaging, fun, fun.
Doesn't seem like a Redditor.
Doesn't seem like he's gonna be crass and like, trying to like, or doesn't seem like a Redditor where he'll make like crude jokes. I don't think he even likes swearing too much.
Yeah.
And what else? He doesn't. He's not like trying to get your money or anything. It's like buy my review code or whatever, Or like if you invest in me, you're gonna make billions of dollars. So he's not gonna like get clickbait headlines. And like he's like, I'm showing the work. This is what it looks like. This is how it looks to me. Let me know if any of this looks wrong or anything. He's not sure himself, and he's gonna post all his receipts and stuff. Here's all the links and stuff. GameStop investor presentation, May 2020. GameStop Performance Center info. IGN, Games Industry Biz, Xbox's Phil Spencer. I mean, like, yeah, something they did mention in the movie is that Vern Kitty like had the stance that like Wall Street didn't understand games because they're like, oh, it's going out of business. What do they know? These guys are idiots.
Yeah.
And then like Vern Kitty's like, no, these things are great. People still play games all the time. So. Oh boy, some people comment, this aged well.
There you go, yeah. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. This man has become an absolute icon. Yeah. Sheer confidence and character, absolute blank of steel. Chess, the YouTube chess account says checkmate short sellers. Chess is memeing about it. They're gonna make a movie about this, and Christian Bale will play your character.
Almost.
They had Paul Dano.
Yeah, there you go. Spoil the Batman.
We're gonna comment on that right now.
We're gonna comment right now.
We're playing Michael Burry again. The Stonks Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, they didn't show Michael Burry in the film. Which would be funny if he was played by Christian Bale.
Someone at the 21 hours ago, the very last comment here said, "Well, you were half right." I'm gonna like that right now.
There we go.
I'm not gonna reply to a random person. I literally said I'm not gonna reply to a random person, and this person's YouTube account is @person-GK5EE. So their YouTube account is basically literally a person. I'm not gonna reply to this random person.
Unfortunately, because of YouTube's like renaming things, stuff like it's all screwed up now.
It's all screwed up. Yeah.
Like before, you probably had a name, and then you didn't feel like changing it or whatever.
Yeah, whatever, person. I don't trust you. But yeah, here's so yeah, this scene. This is another scene that's a really cool part of the film. I don't think this is a big spoiler or anything. This is a very dramatic part of the film. This is like the actual
it's not a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler because this happened in real life. And I think like it's good to know that this happened in real life as you're watching it, because then or like after you watch it and then you watch this, you're like, wow, this actually happened in real life.
That's part of the problem with the movie. You can just look at the stuff online for free. Was actually paying to watch the movie.
But it's fun to watch it in a movie and a narrative experience and like through the storytelling. I liked it. It was done in competent hands. I like the incompetent hands. It was in hands that were competent. I want to say. I don't want to say incompetent hands. But yeah.
Inflammable. It's flammable.
Oh, it's inflammable. Oh, perfect.
Oh, you don't need to worry.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, there's like a... I just heard of another metaphor that was like if somebody's buying insurance on somebody else's house, you know, if you're saying, oh, I bet your house, I bet I'll make money off of your house being set on fire, you know, it incentivizes somebody to be like, oh, well, I'm just going to drop a couple matches every once in a while, you know, see what happens, you know, I don't know what happened, I was just smoking and it just happened, you know. So, yeah, that's like kind of like that's like kind of the problem of the incentives of like certain kind of financial instruments that are out there. It's like maybe that's some of the ones in The Big Short and stuff.
Yeah.
But so that's why some of those things are limited to who can access those.
Yeah.
You know, some men just want to watch the world burn. But sometimes it actually works out where it's like, no, you actually need this instrument because like otherwise nobody's gonna do anything about it. So, because what if the house actually does burn down? You know, like, you gotta let somebody.
So you don't want to watch the house burn.
Some people actually do.
So you burn down your house,
the house is about to burn down. You gotta like allow me to get in on it, and then I could help pay everybody else off. So anyway, this we got a sidetracked. So this is Keith Gill, Roaring Kitty, random guy on YouTube. Just to give an idea of the time span, like he just started doing his live streams August 2020, and then in January 2021, he's already testifying to Congress about like how he basically they're like accusing him of like single-handedly orchestrating like a run on the short squeeze against hedge funds, and like basically single-handedly like using insider trading and like rousing up a mob to get them frothing at the mouths to like destroy Wall Street and stuff. And now like, okay, we got to do something about this. Congress has got to step in and stuff. So it's pretty terrifying for him as they portray in the film. He's like, oh, what do I do? This is so scary. But this is how it happened in real life. This is the actual footage, and it's like basically like kind of 1-to-1 with the film. So anyway, you're gonna see it right now. Yeah. Here's Representative Maxine Waters, who's like they use this footage in the film here. So. And I think CNBC would let us use this, right? Right, they probably let us use this.
I don't think they would, because you can easily find like the actual C-SPAN of it or something.
Should I look at the C-SPAN of it or something?
I'll probably get the C-SPAN of it.
Look at the C-SPAN of it. Okay. Keith Gill
If you'll see special, maybe like one entry.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yahoo Finance.
Oh, yeah, Yahoo Finance is fine. Yeah, use Yahoo Finance. Yeah.
No C-SPAN. C-SPAN has no YouTube.
Should have something on it.
All right, whatever.
Member
Yahoo
McHenry,
Finance.
members of the committee. I'm happy to discuss with the committee my purchases of GameStop shares and my discussions of their fair value on social media. It is true that my investment in that company multiplied in value many times.
That's like I saw some illegal eagle, and it's good to be like, oh, I agree that these things are true. And it's almost as if like you're acknowledging their argument, but then you're gonna disprove it in the next breath. So it's like an effective rhetoric tactic to be like, yeah, these things are true. Yeah, but actually, what's not true is the following. It's like, oh, okay, you're acknowledging certain things. So.
I tell
for that. I feel enormous.
You talk to a lawyer for this, yeah.
Yeah.
Fortunate.
And like, yeah, they portray. Here's the kitten in the background. Here's the scarf everyone knows him for, and like they have that in the movie and stuff. It's great.
That's a major spoiler.
And the people watching this are, I don't know, but it's in real life.
I also believe the current price of the shares demonstrates that I've been right about the company. A few things I am not. I'm not a cat.
There you go.
I am not an institutional investor.
There.
Nor am I a hedge fund. I do not have clients, and I do not provide personalized investment advice for fees or commissions. I'm just an individual whose investment in GameStop and posts on social media were based upon my own research and analysis. I grew up in Brockton, Massachusetts. My family was not wealthy. My father was a truck driver, and my mom a registered nurse. I was one of 3 kids and the first in my family to earn a 4-year college degree when I graduated from Stonehill College in 2009. That was not a good time to be looking for a job.
Yeah.
From 2010 to 2017, I worked at a few startup companies, but there were significant periods when I was unemployed. I took an interest in the stock market, and even though I had very little money, I used those times to educate myself and learn more about investing. In 2019, after nearly 2 years unemployed, I accepted a marketing and financial education job at MassMutual.
I don't think it's on his end. I'm pretty sure, and it sounds like the audio quality sounds like it's from the Congress side of yeah.
My wife Caroline and I were thrilled that I had an income and benefits. My job was to help develop financial education classes that advisors could present to prospective clients. I was not a stockbroker or a financial advisor. I did not talk to clients, and I did not recommend stocks for them to buy. Before and after I joined MassMutual, I studied and followed stocks. One of those was GameStop. In early June of 2019, the price of GameStop stock declined below what I thought was its fair value. I invested in GameStop in 2019 and 2020 because, as I studied the company, I became more and more confident in my analysis. 2 important factors, based entirely on publicly available information, gave me confidence that GameStop was undervalued.
So like, yeah, he wants to make sure he clarifies, like, this is all publicly available information. There's no, like, foul play. There's no insider trading. He's just saying this is all, him getting the, like, there's no edge here. Like institutional investors usually have some kind of edge oftentimes, and then he's just doing this based off, like, his own personal research and stuff. So it's a very good rhetorical kind of thing. He wants to clarify and clear his name and stuff. So
I guess he had enough money to practice this. Get the research for it. Also, he studies stuff a lot, so he's pretty good.
Smart guy, yeah.
First, the market was underestimating the prospects of GameStop's legacy business and overestimating the likelihood of bankruptcy. I grew up playing video games and shopping at GameStop, and I plan to continue shopping there. GameStop stores still provide real value to consumers and reliable revenue for GameStop. Second, I believe that GameStop has the potential to reinvent itself as the ultimate destination for gamers in a rapidly growing.
Look at him saying this, like he's saying. Also, I think they're going to be the ultimate gaming destination. It's like promoting games,
like a GameStop CEO. I was wondering about that in the movie.
$1 billion gaming industry. GameStop has a unique opportunity to pivot toward a technology-driven business.
That was in his that's in his 5-minute video. He's explaining that. He's reiterating that. He's just reiterating all the things he said before.
By embracing the digital economy, GameStop may be able to find new revenue streams that vastly exceed the value of its business. I am hardly the only person who has advocated these points. When I wrote and spoke about GameStop in social media with other individual investors, our conversations were no different from people in a bar or on a golf course or at home talking or arguing about a stock. Hedge funds and other Wall Street firms have teams of analysts working together to compile research and analyze shares of companies. Individual investors do not have those resources. Social media platforms like Reddit, YouTube, and Twitter are leveling the playing field. The idea that I use social media to promote GameStop stock to unwitting investors and influence the market is preposterous. My post did not cause the movement of billions of dollars into GameStop shares.
Damn, he's saying it's preposterous. He's like, it's a bull claim. He's not taking a modest stance on that. Yeah. He's like taking a hardline stance. And he's telling he's telling that to he's a random guy, and he's like, I'm going to tell you, Congress, this is preposterous.
Yeah,
it's pretty bold, right? Yeah. But it's like, I mean, like that's how you avoid
going.
Losing
the trial.
Yeah, yeah.
It is tragic that some people lost money, and my heart goes out to them. But what happened in January just demonstrates again that investing in public securities is extremely risky. As I said earlier, I consider myself and my family fortunate with our investment. When the stock price broke $20 in December, I knew my investment was a success. I was so happy to visit my family in Brockton for the holidays. The money will go such a long way for us. We had an incredibly difficult 2020. Most difficult was the tragic and unexpected loss of my sister Sarah in June. I am grateful to be in a position to give back to and support my family. As for what happened in January, others will have to explain it. It's alarming how little we know about the inner workings of the market. And I am thankful that this committee is examining what happened. I also want to say that I support retail investors' right to invest in what they want, when they want. I support the right of individuals to send a message based on how they invest. As for me, I like the stock.
I like the stock. Hey, you said it.
Bullish as I've ever been on a potential turnaround for
does made it seem more epic than that, but he just says it pretty plainly.
GameStop, and I remain invested in the company.
I think the internet was like exploded over it, though. He said it very casually. But he said,
thank you. Cheers, everyone.
And let me see. Another key point is so yeah, he says it's alarming how little we know about the inner workings of the market. I think at this time period where he's making his testimony, the stuff about like Melvin Capital, Citadel, payment for order flow, the relationship with Robinhood between these organizations and stuff. Maybe that stuff didn't come to light at that point, so maybe that's why he made that statement.
Wasn't he like? Aren't they interviewing like everyone?
They're interviewing everyone at this same congressional hearing, I think. And the movie they said that, like it's like
I think it was in the
same thing.
The headline also.
In the headline also.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not a cat. I'm not an institutional investor. I'm a hedge fund.
It's very interesting that Yahoo Finance put that in there.
Yeah. I mean, you got to do it, right? You got to get the views.
Yeah. It's Yahoo.
But yeah, he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So he's like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
And then like stuff like Jon Stewart is like, let's bring attention to like the stuff in the light and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is like the full story.
Yeah.
From different angles and stuff. It was probably very confusing and very overwhelming at the time.
McHenry,
because there's so many different angles to consider, and we didn't know what exactly was happening. And I mean, a lot of people were just like, bye. Like, the hedges, and then they owe the hedges to them. Like, yeah, so now we kind of have a more full perspective on like this through the course of this stream, we have a more full perspective on how this all played out and stuff.
Yeah.
Like kind of beginning to end a little bit.
Yeah.
CNBC on how Reddit traders took on Wall Street. Oh, here's Robert Reich. I think he wouldn't mind us sharing some stuff. I actually don't quite know what this video is. But let me see.
Don't share HBO Max. HBO Max will definitely take it down.
HBO Max trailer?
Trailer maybe not.
Trailer. Trailer's fine, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I saw that documentary too, but yeah, okay. We're gonna show this Robert Reich clip. I'm not sure. I think this is supposed to refer to GameStop.
I have no idea.
I'm not sure either, so we'll see.
Before we get started, I wanted to introduce to you two people. Now, this is Asher Edelman. When he was a corporate raider, mounting unfriendly takeovers of companies using high-risk debt, which was then known as junk bonds. Asher was one of the inspirations for the character of Gordon Gekko in Oliver Stone's 1987 film, Wall Street.
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
Corporate raiders like Asher Edelman changed the face of...
My understanding of it now is like, wow, this is some deep shit.
How the actual, like... I feel like that's a problem of Hollywood, is that they never really get into...
I saw like big closest we've gone to is like Big Short and Dumb Money.
Yeah, and how do those movies get made? You know, it's impossible to make those movies, and nobody watches them, and you can't watch them now. You know, it's a bottom line.
American capitalism. They also changed the structure of the American corporation. They focused in on maximizing shareholder returns. The raiders said that American management had become too fat and lazy, too entrenched and complacent, which was why America was losing the competitive race. In those days, losing it to Japan.
We used to say that our labor costs were so much over Japan and Germany's that we couldn't compete. But in fact, all in, their labor costs are now higher than ours. And why is it we can't compete? We can't compete because they have entrepreneurial spirit and we're losing it.
Now, I said at the start that I wanted to introduce...
Oh, yeah?
That was the idea behind Gung Ho, yeah.
What was Gung Ho? Is that a whole YouTube video?
There's a whole movie on it.
Oh, is there a movie about Gung Ho?
It's about like Asian car industry taking over instead of the U.S. car industry.
Like Michigan or whatever? Or like...
I forget what it is. It stars Michael Keaton, actually, oddly enough.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
No one talks about that one anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah.
To two people.
Yeah,
it was a big film in the 90s, and you could hear that WPIX narrator's voice be like, Gung Ho, coming on, 8 o'clock, 7 Central.
Yeah, in the 80s, Japan was like the big kind of scary thing that was like competing with America at the time. Economically, and just like people were picturing a future where Japan was like going to be the world power, and like that kind of basically led to like the Asian American movement in America, because like there's like I believe there was like a factory, a car factory, manufacturing factory that closed down. They moved it out of America, and like workers were disgruntled. They were like, who do we blame? They don't blame the corporate owners, the company owners, of course. They blame Asians, they blame Japanese people.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, we see this Chinese guy, Vincent Chen. You know, he's not even Japanese, he's Chinese. And they beat him up so badly that he dies. And then, sorry, that's a little distressing and maybe a little...
I remember the story, yeah.
And then there's like a big Asian activist movement and becomes the origin of the term Asian American and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's as the story goes. But yeah, it's interesting how these little things all can all tie into each other, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
And yeah, now we're maybe at a different phase.
I remember also in the
now we're at maybe a different phase of this kind of thing now with Asian American representation and like different competing economic interests.
Also, I think at the time, like Asian markets were opening up to the stock market too. So like you had a whole bunch of Asian companies joining the stock market also,
right?
Which took away from U.S. market share.
Right, and nowadays you see like people on like TV and the internet like, oh, don't invest Asian,
don't invest in China, don't invest in Taiwan,
invest American,
I
invest
hate
American,
Speaking of not liking CNBC or what the hell they're doing, like that's what they do sometimes.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
I still do. You just met Asher. Now let me introduce you to somebody else. Hard to believe. I know, but that was me. And I disagree.
How do you respond to that argument, Professor Reich?
Well, I don't know that it's an argument so much as an assertion. Those takeovers or the fears of takeovers do reduce...
Look at Seth Rogen, everybody. Look, Seth
contacts.
The financial movie cinematic universe.
There you go.
Is this Christian Bale? Is this Paul Dano?
I like the stock.
I'm not a cat.
That research and development drops. That a lot of the increase in share values, to the extent that there are any increases at all, comes simply because you're taking money from other
He sounds the same. It sounds like Robert Reich.
Holders, like employees and so forth.
By today's standards, the debate was pretty civil.
If there's any casino game going on, that is certainly a casino game.
Your idea of a casino sometimes is my idea of a very efficient business, sir. Mr. Edelman and Professor Reich, thank you both for joining us.
So was he right? Let me ask my guest today, Asher Edelman, 33 years after our debate. Asher, with the advantage of hindsight, were the unfriendly takeovers of the 1980s good for America, or were they bad?
Net, they were bad. It wasn't only takeovers, it was the greed in the banking system, the change in the banking system, and the ability to make people or to allow people to refinance in ways that they could put money in their pockets.
This kind of form of capitalism that began in the 1980s, of which you were one of the major proponents, maybe has not turned out quite well.
The 80s became the moment of change. Wall Street, which wasn't very clever in the 60s, but became slightly more clever in the 70s and early 80s, became just a place of greed. I left in 1988, but it became a place of greed. It became a place of the Giulianis of the world. It became a place where traders didn't study anything, where they just went, I'll take that. And it became a place where various instruments were rigged, and you took 3 triple-B pieces of paper and you put them together and you had a triple-A piece of paper. It was all nonsense.
Asher Edelman, a titan of Wall Street, saying things that many people would be surprised to hear from you.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
Yeah. It might not have anything to do with what we're talking about, but like whatever.
Yeah, this might. Yeah, I don't know what this has to do with GameStop.
It's interesting, well, yeah, like
it's interesting.
Like yeah, I feel like people they don't actually educate themselves about like how to do moves. They just take things.
Yeah. This is maybe more tying with like Wolf of Wall Street kind of stuff or something, or
something like that,
yeah.
Or like Zaslav kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. Or like
Iger kind of stuff, or like Vince McMahon kind of stuff.
I mean, I'm more thinking like The Big Short with like how they were. Oh yeah, you have like how they like approved the tranches and stuff like that with the mortgage-backed securities. So like, yeah, I wish there was a video that we could show that explains how they like built these like bad mortgage-backed securities and like called them like AA, AAA, even though like single A bonds, even though they were like worth much less than that. And yeah, there's a process in which they like took like someone with they took someone with really good credit and they took someone with really bad credit and they put them together and then like on average, oh, this is a good collection here. You bundle them all a bunch of them all together and like overall the security is very good. And then people just buy bundles and they're like, oh, it's making tons of money. I guess I'll get in on this. And like the money keeps stacking up and stacking up and stacking up. And like meanwhile, some of these people are like, you know, somebody who's like picking strawberries doesn't even have a credit card or something. They got a home loan at like little to no approval process or no cost or anything, and no interest initially,
Yeah.
and like happy. I'll happily like take a home and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they get bundled with someone else, and then like, and it's like there's no value there. It's like said to have value. It's all approved by the different approval agencies and stuff. It's all said like to be like, oh yeah, check marks. Yeah, of course these are good.
How to with John Wilson, real estate. It's also something they don't cover.
Yeah,
but like,
they
I think
don't
it's
cover
covered
that
up
kind of
with,
stuff. Yeah.
I'm sort of thinking about it now.
Yeah. So that was stuff that was in the Big Short that they mentioned.
That makes sense.
In the book.
There was salami slicing. Not salami slicing, but like there were so like 10% of like 10,000 houses or something.
Yeah. It was kind of hard to depict in the movie. In the book, you just read it, but in the movie, they had to like show like the scene where they're like driving down there. They're like, we got to see this for ourselves. They deal with this stripper and the strip club and stuff. That was a scene in the movie. They're like, oh yeah, I bought 3 houses and stuff. And he's like, what? What's happening? So yeah, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we go.
After 33 years of us not having a conversation, or at least not talking about these kinds of issues, it's great to understand where you're coming from, and it's terrific to have this conversation. Asher, thank you. Talk to you soon.
It's you, and we all love you.
Yeah. You take care. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Even Gordon Gekko now agrees that Wall Street is a fraud. Wow.
What year was this released?
What a headline is this, man? This must be recent, 2 years ago.
Peak Zoom, yeah.
Robert Reich is very active on social media now.
I know,
Former
yeah, I see him all the
Secretary.
time.
He's always he likes going viral and stuff.
Yeah.
That's his whole goal, is to just bring as much attention to these kinds of issues.
Huh.
Ad break in progress.
GameStop game.
All right, we got an ad break. BRB in 2 minutes, I guess. I gotta redo the break. Ad break. Ad break. I'm gonna mute this.
Oh, wait, muted, sorry.
Muted?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we're not back. Sorry. We're back. So to wrap up, I think we're wrapping up at this point.
Yeah.
It's been going on for a while. This is intense.
This is longer than the movie.
Yeah.
The movie was only 9 minutes.
Who's watching this? Quacks011. Oh, welcome to the stream. We're like wrapping up. Thanks for joining, though. Hope you were enjoying this. You've been like quietly following and stuff, maybe. So yeah, thanks for following. This was a lot of fun. Dumb Money was a great movie. Talking about all these things related to Dumb Money and the GameStop saga and stocks and stuff was really important, I think.
Yeah.
I don't normally cover this kind of stuff, but it's like kind of sort of something that I've been following a lot more closely lately. And yeah, I don't know. It might be part of my streams more. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. But I also feel like I have so many other interests too that like I'm not sure how it's going to fit in exactly. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I guess the next time something like this comes up in the news or like in like a movie or something, it might come up in the news sooner than we think. But yeah, I don't mean to be too ominous there. But I don't know if you follow the news at all, but like some of this stuff sounds like a little dicey in the economy now. People don't, but maybe it's been like that for like several years now, so we're not exactly sure what's gonna happen. But yeah, anyway, we're just gonna wrap up. We're gonna show like this follow-up thing to watch after Dumb Money. It's called Gaming Wall Street. It's about the same saga in Wall Street involving GameStop, and told from the perspective of a documentary where they interview real people and Wall Street in general. And also, we're gonna leave off on like some other reading things to follow that like also involves short squeezes and Wall Street and stuff, other resources. And this is on a playlist that we made for this stream today. I'm gonna share it in Discord. I'm gonna share a link to the Discord. I might as well share a link to the Discord now. But yeah. And be nice. That's all I ask.
There you go.
Don't it's
chill out, dude.
It's a small community, so if anything happens, it's very
we'll
easy.
Find you.
It's very easy to know who's doing. It's very easy to know who's causing trouble. Okay, it's a very small community. So, all right. Anyway, here's GameStop and Gaming Wall Street on HBO Max, now known as Max. Let's check this out. It's trailer 2 minutes.
Remember when you couldn't stop hearing about GameStop?
And this is Kieran Culkin as the narrator for
I
this.
thought that was Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg. It's Kieran Culkin.
Succession.
Known for his work in Succession at HBO Max. Yeah.
Thanks to a bunch of nerds on Reddit, its stock price raised to heights no one could have ever imagined.
Because of all these hedge funds shorting the stock, GameStop started off as a undervalued play. So a lot of people are buying into it. Not even worried that they lose all their money. It's more about a middle finger to the hedge funds.
There's this opportunity here to bet against what all the hedge funds did.
Finally, the underdogs had the upper hand.
Same plot.
This really is taking...
Oh, long-time Twitter viewer. Never knew I streamed. Yeah, I stream very rarely nowadays. Yeah, I don't know if I remember your Twitter handle, but that's cool. Okay, cool. I stream occasionally nowadays. I used to stream a lot more back in the day. If you want more info on my stuff, I'm on YouTube and stuff. Shameless self-promotion. Whoa. Check out my itch.io, my Twitch, my YouTube, and Twitter. Yeah, what's your Twitter handle, if you don't mind my asking? If you, but also if you don't feel like saying on stream, that's also fair enough. But yeah. Oh, anyway. Let's continue this. Yeah.
World by storm. Oh my God, it's making money.
Let's get these hedge fund monsters before they get us.
Oh boy.
And that scared the shit out of some really rich people.
And then the Robin Hood thing happened.
They cut us off from trading because they wanted us to sell what we had.
What Robin Hood did, that took the wind out of the sails. I've never seen a group of stocks that you can no longer add to.
There is a lot of emotion here. All of this rage.
Definitely the worst point in my life.
What can we do to give a voice to it?
The GameStop frenzy ripped the curtain of how rigged our markets really are.
They forced the broader public to start asking questions that they've never really asked before.
And it's not just one firm, two firms, three firms. It's all the firms that commit capital.
And that cracked open a whole investigation.
Wall Street has been making money out of thin air.
So that's basically stealing, right?
The level of illegal activity is just astonishing.
The market does get manipulated in a lot of ways that we don't see.
But how do you play a game when someone else makes the rules?
Someone can cheat, and you'll never know.
It's intentionally hidden from you that you can't see where the profits really lie.
Is there one chance to blow up the Death Star?
I don't even care who the whistleblower is.
That's why it's important that people come forward.
We'll come forward.
This is just the beginning.
Yeah. And yeah, we're seeing a number of elements here. Some regular people also in this, their perspectives, like kind of similar to Dumb Money. Why did I blank out on the name of the movie we've been talking about nonstop?
Well, we didn't actually call it by name.
Yeah, we just been talking about the GameStop stuff.
I was looking at the title of the movie. Doesn't really stick out to me. Honestly.
Yeah, it's hard to really remember the name of the movie. I still forget it.
When GameStop was happening, I didn't call it Dumb Money.
Yeah, I don't really think of it that way, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like from the perspective of the rich people, the billionaires is calling it dumb money,
yeah.
but also it's not dumb money because they figured it out. So. Yeah. I don't know. It's like a bug's life. It's a bug's life. Yeah. You're calling this dumb money? You're calling this dumb money? This? You're saying this is dumb money? I don't think so, man. So yeah, they gotta give.
You can't trust money. What can you trust?
Yeah.
You're in the voice.
You can't trust money. Who can't? Are we referencing?
Yeah.
I think we are.
Yeah.
Who's like not even on YouTube anymore. I don't even want to say his name because like I don't want to bring more heat on him. Because like maybe he's just so totally out of the game that he doesn't want people thinking about him anymore. So I want to respect that. So yeah, we have a good number of elements here. We talk about the GameStop saga. We talk about like literal people who are involved in this as like on the little level.
Yeah.
There's also people who like are part of the activist angle of this, who are like trying to bring attention to this in a bigger way and like really show. Like that was stuff that they could have shown in Dumb Money that like could show the fervor of how angry people were. That like in real life, like they did some pretty crazy stuff. Like I don't want to spoil this. Like should I? They had like banners flying. I don't know. Should I say like a little taste of like what's in this? Like They had banners flying around all kinds of places you wouldn't even expect. I feel like it makes it sound like I'm saying where the sun don't shine.
I just don't remember what we're talking about.
Anyway, there's a lot of stuff happening at the time, but anyway, there's a lot of stuff happening at the time that, like, yeah, this can count some of that, and then also here's a whole angle here that they talk about some of the shady stuff that Wall Street firms are doing that wasn't covered in Dumb Money. That actually goes much further than Dumb Money does, and is actually like quite I don't know. I was like kind of like unnerved as to like some of the stuff that was happening. Like, ooh, this is like really crazy stuff. So yeah, you should. It's worth watching. It's definitely an HBO kind of thing, HBO documentary. Like, you know, and like, yeah, there's like a particular thing that this guy says that was like, wow, it's crazy. But yeah, it's worth watching it. Watch the documentary. There's all kinds of stuff, all kinds of good stuff in there. And like, yeah, so yeah, watch it. It's good. And then other stuff on the playlist. Just more. Here's like an expanded investment thesis by Ryan Cohen on GameStop. It's 20 minutes long. I honestly don't remember this. It's like so long.
I'll probably get it out.
I don't know. I'm not gonna watch it. We're not gonna watch it. I'm just
Maybe
gonna
never did. We'll watch it.
We're not watching it. Here's other videos on shirt squeezes.
Yeah.
And that were not done by retail investors, or like not done by at least Redditors or whatever. And yeah. Anyway, that's stuff for another time. All right. Thanks for tuning in, folks. This was fun. I'm going to, what am I going to do? I don't know. I guess we got to wrap up the stream somehow. How do we wrap this up? Let's show some kitty cat. We got to find another person to raid. It's not showing it. I don't even know if we should rate anybody after talking about all this. I don't really follow. I don't follow anybody who follows any of this stuff. So I'm just not gonna rate anyone.
It's fine.
This is an amazing clip, by the way. Cat crashing the snow. And they have this in the movie. It's great.
Yeah.
And then one more time for good measure.
There you go.
So I have been seeing a lot of people online who are like, what is going on with the stock market? Is there anyone who can explain this in normal person terms instead of...
It's like pure PhD out. I just want people to enjoy this while me making the shot.
Okay, pure PhD out, Mudita heart out. Enjoy. Have a good one. Stay safe. Don't do any risky things in the stock market or otherwise.
I don't know if it's a shot. Remember your hedges. Remember your hedges.
Yeah. And yeah, happy safe travels, and happy watching. Enjoy movies and stuff.
Yeah.
And enjoy good company. Pure PhD. This is good times. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know what you're doing. I'm very confused.
I don't know why the thumb looks weird. Alright, anyway. Good times. We're had by all. More shameless self-promotion, I guess. And, okay.
So I decided I want to do that because, like, I own stocks, so I, like, have a pretty good understanding of the stock market. And from what I understand, there are these people who they have lots of money and they have hedges around their house, and they go to the market, but it's like not a real market. It's metaphorical, but it's real. And they go that company is not doing well, so I'm gonna make it do worse. So they pull out some papers and they go, who wants to make a deal? They start making deals and they say if this company's good, if it goes down, then I get money from you, and if it goes up, then I'll give you money. But they don't tell you that it's not gonna go up. I mean, they will make it so it goes down. But then there was this online reading club that was like, well, not today.
Online reading club, Reddit, read, I guess is like maybe the implication. Reddit is like a reading club.
We want hedges too, and so they went into their bank accounts, and then they also went to the market, and they were like, bye of the company, and changed it a lot. And so now the initial people, the hedges have to give their hedges, I think, to the other people. So yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know.
I never get tired of this. The anxiety. Good acting, great acting. And like she's basically describing what's happening and just sounding completely non-confident and non-competent, but like she's basically describing exactly what's happening. It's great. I love it. All right, here's the link. Check out the link to her. Here's her pinned tweet. Love it. Avalon Penrose. All right, and then also Cardi B's WAP was also important to Dumb Money storytelling. We didn't get a chance to talk about this, but this is part of it too. I'm gonna share this too. Join the Discord. I'm just gonna link to this. Join the Discord, and I'll see you next time. Mudita heart out. Stay soft, stay strong, and I'll see you next time. I'm gonna copy this link. Join the Discord. Shameless. All right. Cool. All right. Have a good one, folks. Dumb money. All right. Have a good one, folks. Take care. And also, happy birthday, Jim Henson.
Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday, Jim Henson. I don't know if you heard Pure PhD downstairs. Happy birthday, Jim Henson. See you, folks. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah. See ya, folks. Bye-bye. Dumb Money. Go watch it. I did it. I finally did it. I don't even know how I thought about it at the end. All right. Anyway. We need a heart out. See ya.
Happy birthday, Jim Henson.
Happy birthday, Jim Henson.
We'll try to sing from Labyrinth.
Dance. Dance, magic, dance. Dance, magic. You put the spell on you, the magic that you do. Jump. I don't know.
Jump, magic, jump.
Jump, magic, jump. I don't know those lyrics.
That's good enough, yeah, that's fine.
All right, anyway, we're out of here.
We're out of here, yeah.
All right, peace. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
I might do a podcast after this. I don't know.
There you go, Labyrinth or whatever.
Yeah, all right, take it easy.
Too easy.